Hi, I'm Bob Hedstrom from Scooterville, Minnesota. This is a genuine scooter company, Stella. It's the last manual shift scooter available for sale in the United States. Today we're going to talk about the care, the feeding, and the maintenance of a manual shift scooter. First, we're going to start with the most basic thing, how to get to stuff. On the Stella or on a Vespa, on a Bajaj, you need to remove the cowls in order to get to your spare tire, your battery on this side, and your engine on this side. On the Stella and on a Vespa PX, getting to that is underneath the seat. There's a release lever that will allow the cowl to be removed. Now, basically what happens is there's a registration pin in the back, corresponds with a hole in the chassis there. There's a registration pin in the front, corresponding with a hole in a chassis down here. And there's also a spring hanger that catches right here. That keeps the cowl registered into place. Once the cowl's removed, you want to set it aside in a safe place, and that'll get us to access to the engine compartment. Cowl removal on the battery side, same thing. Twist the lever out, pull the cowl up and out of the way. We're going to bring the service lift up to a better working height. Now, on the battery side, you have your spare tire and you have your battery. There's also a fuse located in here. The battery in a Stella, a Vespa PX, in a Bajaj is going to require some maintenance. There are two lines on the side of your battery. You want to make sure that your fluid levels are in between those two lines somewhere, all the way to the top, but not below the bottom line. If it's below the bottom line, add some distilled water to bring it back in between the two lines. The removal of the battery can be done with either a slotted screwdriver or I prefer a 10mm socket. The socket provides better purchase on the battery bolt, helps you when you're tightening it down to make it good and secure. If your battery terminals are loose, you won't get the proper performance out of your battery. For removal of the spare tire, the battery doesn't have to come out of here, but we got it out of the way just so you can get a better look at which fasteners need to come off. There are two fasteners on top. There are 13mm socket, where is the best tool to use to remove them. You can use your onboard toolkit, but it is not the best thing in the world. Invest in a few socket sizes, you'll be much better off. The bottom bolt that holds the spare on also holds on your spare tire cover. Remove that and these two nuts, and that will get the spare tire off the bike. Once you have your fasteners removed, put them up on the floorboard. Keep them somewhere where they're not going to get trampled into the ground, because a lot of times when you're changing your tires, they're done on the side of the road. Then your tire can come free and you're ready to make a change. One very important maintenance thing is to check the tube inflation in your spare tire. The only thing that makes a flat tire on your scooter worse is to get your spare out and realize that it has gone flat because you didn't check it. They will periodically need to have some air added to them. So make it a regular maintenance check to check not only the inflation in your front and rear tires, but also on your spare. Keep your spare inflated to about 28 to 30 pounds. Remember the three important places that attach your cowl: your rear pivot, your center hanger, and your front locking pin. Insert the rear pivot into the hole in the chassis. Spring hook will rest on the chassis hook. When you get it on there, you'll feel it connect, and the cowl won't be able to pull away from the chassis. Now just press down on the cowl and get the front pivot into place. Hold the cowl tight against the chassis and pull the lever back into its original position. Underneath your seat, you're going to find your fuel tank and your oil tank. The oil tank, this just pushes into place. It's not threaded, so it won't, you can turn it all day, it won't come out. You just want to pull out, it's very snug, but just pull it out to access your oil tank. For your fuel, an 87 octane unleaded fuel is what we recommend. Some people will run premium, but we really don't notice a difference in improved performance in the premium over just regular unleaded. Oil tank, we recommend a high quality two-stroke injector oil. There are vintage scooters that require a mixture of gas and oil. They don't have an oil tank, and in that case you want to have a two-stroke oil formulated for premix. Just add your two-stroke oil carefully into the reservoir. Go slowly. You don't really want to overflow this because it makes a mess. Behind your heels as you sit on the bike, you're going to find three different items. This is a sight glass for your oil tank. Right now, you're seeing an oil tank that is full, and the color of the oil is red. When this is not full, you're going to see the float in there, which is white. This is your fuel valve control lever. There are three positions. On the Stella here, it's marked in an off, on, and reserve position. So when it's in this direction, it's off. When it is straight up, the fuel valve is on and fuel will go to your carburetor. At some point, when you get low in the tank, you would run out of gas in this position and still be able to move the fuel control lever all the way over to the reserve position, which will give you enough fuel to get, probably another 15 miles or so. You also have your manual choke back here. Your choke lever comes out when you're doing a cold start on the scooter. So pull out your choke lever, start the bike, and after it warms up for a few seconds, you can slowly push the choke back in.